Hello, and welcome to our final episode of Time Travelers. I'm super excited to have everyone here. For those of you just tuning in, this is Monster of the Week, but it is kind of a sci-fi Lovecraftian adventure. Um, so we're going to go around and introduce everyone. I am the GM, Rowan North, and I'm an artist. And yeah, I'm just excited to be here. All right, let's go around. Let's start with Hannah.
Hello, I'm Hannah. Oh, it's that kind of day, huh?
I guess so.
So I'm playing Elizabeth Maddock today. She is a who is very kick some ass and hopefully not die.
That's totally fair. Kick some ass and hopefully not die. All right, Sam, let's have you go next.
Hi, hello, I'm Samantha. I play Christina, who is the mom friend of the group, and just keeps those two out of trouble as much as she can. I'm a musician, IRL. I will be at a bunch of Renaissance fairs all over Utah and Idaho this summer, which you can look at on my website, mistressofmelody.com. The of is important.
Thank you so much. And last but not least, Matt.
Oh boy, hello. Hi, I'm Matt. I'm a content creator of various sorts, and I'm playing Special Agent Jason Andrews, who's having a really long day, and I get the feeling it's coming to an end one way or another.
One way or another.
That sun's getting real low.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So what happened last time? We ended up in like a time bubble. This is kind of an offshoot. I wouldn't even say like an offshoot timeline. It is like its own contained dimension where this nuclear power plant is. And you guys went and found the Joneses there, but not only the Joneses, but you found Assistant Director V, and she had all the Malcolmites with her, and she's been using the nuclear power to kind of power this time bubble, and to keep the Malcolmites moving, kind of as like a subsidiary battery. So Jason, you had just kind of popped in and you said some shit. I can't remember all. I think you summoned the old one.
I resigned my position and warned them that Void Daddy is coming. And I definitely didn't do the plan that I had of just launching a time grenade into the middle of all this, which was my original plan until I thought about it for a second.
That's
Our Void Dad's gonna be here in a while, and then you'll be in trouble.
My dad will beat up your dad.
So the other thing that you guys saw was that the girl that you've been trying to look for, what was her name again?
Rachel.
Rachel. Oh my God, every single time. Rachel is there. She is tied up, and she is kind of acting as the dimensional gate that these things are traveling through without causing time rifts. So that's creepy. There's no sign of Iris yet. You can't see her, at least. Not from where you guys were looking before, at least. But that's the situation. So did you do anything aside from like call Void Daddy and like, are we making small talk here, or did you just pull your guns and fire?
I didn't fire, and I had my gun out, but not like aimed at anybody.
Okay.
So more like we ended on a really nice tableau that has yet to explode.
It's like
Wonderful.
the JoJo to be continued screen. Roundabout.
Can you imagine what
playing.
Jason's JoJo pose would be? Just like bottle in his mouth, just like,
Twisted at some ungodly angle. Oh,
I'm gonna go
Yes.
ahead and call any of Rohan Kishibe's poses. I think Elizabeth is dramatic enough for that. And Christina's still out in the van, right?
Yeah, I mean, she is hearing everything. Normally those kinds of doors, like the way that the nuclear power plant is with how heavy cemented and everything is, you wouldn't be able to like talk through radio normally. You probably don't get a phone signal here, but because this is void powered, she is able to hear what's going on. I don't think we set up cameras, so unfortunately, Christina, I don't know if you're able to see what's going on, but you definitely can hear it.
We did leave you behind the time bubble zipper, though. So
What?
The time.
Oh yeah, we unzipped the time bubble.
So it's like a separate bubble of time, right? And so we,
Yeah.
but it's overlapped, so we had to like find a way to get into it. So I just made a zipper.
You just made a zipper.
Whoop.
Sometimes you just make a zipper.
Did we zip that behind us, or is
I left it
time
open.
just, or is weird time just pouring through now?
I mean, I didn't close it. I'm not smart enough for that.
Oh, I didn't close that.
That might be your excuse to get out of the van if something happens then.
Yeah.
Fair.
So, I mean, Christina, so that what you're basically looking at, Christina,
Mm-hmm.
is this like tiny little like rift where you're peering into kind of, you're seeing like a double image almost
Okay.
of like,
Like a crack on the skin
Yeah.
of reality.
I believe the word I found eventually was Fisher, and I was very happy about it.
Mm.
yes, something like that. So you see the nuclear power plant over here where there's employees parking and things like that. It is later at night, so there isn't like a lot of cars, but like clearly it's up and running like normal. And then you're seeing this other nuclear power plant, which is empty parking lot, like lights out except for a black car, the one you've been tailing.
Okay.
And some amalgamates creeping about.
Not a fan.
That's not
Christina's the
survive.
only one without void powers
That's
or
true.
some kind of magic.
Why do you think
Probably-
she's in the van?
No,
I'm
Christina-
Owen doesn't. Owen doesn't though. He doesn't either.
Christina has the power of smarts and gun.
Yeah, she does have a gun.
Smart.
Shoot the
Power
things.
button. The power of mom and gun. All right. So Director V stops and she looks at you and she says, I never knew you as one to make an entrance. But then again, it seems like you've been through a lot.
It's been a real long day.
So I can see. Is this meaning, are we going to, I don't know, make pleasantries, or are you just going to shoot me?
Are you going to let the poor girl go and let us put this timeline back onto whatever course it has left?
I mean, eventually.
Okay, see, that's not a great answer.
Very vague.
Yeah. It leaves a little too much. And he just like looked directly at Elizabeth and goes, time open.
High five.
Owen
High
just,
five in the middle of it
Owen
all.
just heaves a long sigh. I imagine Herzog's there like,
Are you really making puns right now?
It's
Might be my
important.
last chance.
Uh,
I have an idea about to deal with the Rachel portal,
yeah.
which is just magic, but
Please.
cool.
Are you wanting to do that right now, or?
I not necessarily. I want to see what we're all doing first.
Yeah.
I think Jason's just kind of waiting to see what the director's gonna do.
have
This
you
is
asked
getting-
her what her evil plan is yet? Have we got the monologue?
Oh no, we haven't.
Oh
let
yeah,
her
we gotta get the
monologue yet.
monologue.
You guys say that out loud. We haven't gotten a monologue. It's like, so you really think I'm the villain then?
I'm sorry. Are you?
All right, are you
not?
gonna like if you want to explain yourself, then maybe we could. But you've been like really
You could-
shady, so it's you can I feel like if you were in our shoes, you could understand that you're being very shady.
If you want to explain why letting amalgamates from a dead timeline eat our timeline is not a villainous thing, I'll happily cede you the floor for an extended conversation.
Well,
But not that extended.
it's certainly a matter of perspective.
Yeah,
Think about it. Think about it this way. These people we lost our time, and we are simply taking one of the many, many, many offshoots to have a second chance. In the what is it that you called the meta of everything? This is such a small, insignificant piece. It's not like I'm trying to take over the alpha timeline. And she actually casts a look at Owen, and Owen's like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Owen, what is she talking about?
We're gonna talk about Owen. You do realize that like there are people here, and while obviously what happened to you is unfortunate, that doesn't give you the right to destroy other people's lives.
Well, let's think about it this way. This timeline is going to end messily, and you'll end up all amalgamates too, eventually. I am actually sparing you from that fate. The same fate that we all faced.
You do know it's most likely your meddling that's going to cause this timeline to end, right?
Well, not for a while.
Jason's going to look at Owen and just be like, no, it's now, right? Like it's now.
Owen's like, yeah, this is definitely, I would say, a timeline ending event. If I mean, there is so many different possibilities and probabilities, but this is definitely a crucial point in whether or not this timeline continues for any length of time. Now I'm not sure how exactly, if it is because of our meddling. That is also a possibility, that because of our meddling, this well, I probably should stop talking.
Yeah, just for a second while I ask her a question, and then we're getting back to your bullshit. How do you, Madam Rebellion, how do you know that this timeline will end messily?
Assistant Director V, she kind of raises an eyebrow and she says, well, they all do, except for one.
So, on the basis that everything ends and yours already ended, you are going to prematurely end another one.
I didn't say that my actions would end it.
Uh-huh. And
Yeah, but they kind of gotta.
It
I mean,
doesn't help.
You were definitely eating people's memories in this timeline.
Yes, but they don't become prisoners in their own bodies, waiting for their time to finally decay.
So, like, you realize how that's a removal of agency, right? You don't get to make decisions for everyone.
Isn't that a little too bad?
But no, you're clearly in the wrong here. I mean, like, Owen's obviously probably also in the wrong.
Oh, it's like, wait, what?
There's
How
not
did
a
I
lot
get?
of people in the right, but yeah, this seems excessively bad. Like, you clearly have the resources to build like a little stable pocket space here. Why didn't you just
This isn't. Who said anything about this being stable?
Well, I haven't shot any grenades in here yet. Seems pretty fine.
Shh, on the grenade.
She
Director
knows
V,
my action reports.
Yeah, Director V, she pauses and she says, now, here's the situation, is that this is only I would say a staging area. This is not going to last as much as I would love to go off of nuclear energy and, the rest of our existence.
Have you tried solar? I hear renewables real good.
I don't know if there's any sun in the void.
Wind? Ooh, no, it's like a liquid. You could do hydro.
So, what will happen to this timeline if you do what you plan to? That seems like the most obvious question.
Assistant Director V, she pauses and she says, "Now, clearly you don't understand how amalgamates work. They're going to disappear eventually. And in fact, they're going to disappear sooner rather than later, the more that they are able to use their minds and more aware they are. As opposed to a dormant state." Director V, she pauses and says, "Now, listen. What would you rather? Live as a mindless entity to the end of your days, or live an active life?"
Are you posing that question to everyone?
Yes.
Oh, you've asked every single one.
A shorter but well-lived life. Which one would you rather?
At the expense of others?
Well, they would eventually get their lives back.
What does that even mean?
What I'm saying is the amalgamates are not going to last. And you see that pretty much all the amalgamates in the room are now paying attention to all of you. All their eyes blinking at you, watching you, waiting for your next move. I would say perhaps they have a year. Maybe more if they're lucky. Depends upon how far along they were in the degradation, being digested by time and all that.
You're not doing a good job of proving that you're not evil. You are like shifty answering questions and moving the goalposts, and
you didn't even know my plan in the first place. Why are you?
And then we ask about it and you're like not really answering.
Owen clears his throat. It's like, if I may, if I'm gathering this correctly, what your plan is to feed on, I suppose, this timeline until all the amalgamates have lived out their lives meaningfully, and then you just let go, give it all back. Assistant Director V says, "Well, yes, essentially."
Now, see, that essentially bugs me.
Hey, Rowan.
Yeah.
Is there anything she's lied about so far? Or is she like being pretty straight?
She seems to be being pretty straight, yes.
Okay, just checking.
Christina has that.
So, yeah.